Hi all, it's Jamie from PMR. It's review time. I've been dying to review this for ages and I just haven't found time to do it up till now. It is an accurate Boss Fury 400 made in the USA, and this one is number 2701, and I bought this off of one of my customers. He'd used it once or twice, but it wasn't for him, and I do a lot of boat fishing with this. If I need to crank up something and I'm using 2 pounds of lead, especially if I'm using 2 pounds of lead, this is the 4.1:1 version, the low geared version. And I'm going to mag it too, because look. Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going and going. But I'm not going to mag this one just yet, because I rather like the clicker. Yeah, look at that. And I need to work out how to keep the clicker before I mag this one, because that is an amazing clicker and I do like to use it with the clicker. But you are not going to cast that. It's got a free spool mode down the bottom here, so you come up here, and even though that's starting to slow down a bit now because it's not in free spool, right down the bottom is a free spool. Yeah, really rather like this reel, but there are a few issues, so I thought I'd, after the shootout it had with the Sigler and doing the reviews on the Sigler, I thought it was time to do something with this. So UK price is about £259. In the States it's about 250 bucks. The body material, nice looking reel. It is aircraft grade aluminium, and it's 6061T6 aircraft grade aluminium. The gear ratios, you can have 2 gear ratios on these reels. You can have 4.1:1 or you can have 6.1:1. Now, gear material, the main gears, full stainless steel. Well, couldn't really be anything else, could it? And I also have to jump in at this point and point out that this is considered the working man's reel. This is the budget version of the accurate reels, which is kind of surprising that it's 250 quid, because there are quite a few reels around about the £250 mark that I won't say are better necessarily, but definitely have a following, like the Saltist, Daiwa Saltist HSH 20s and 30s. It used to be, I know, 350 quid, but they did drop the price to 250 quid. And if I was going to buy this again, I would think about looking at the Saltist as well, so got to be fair about that. Line retrieve. If you have a 4.1:1 line retrieve, you will be getting 25 inches per crank. If you have a 6.1:1 retrieve, you will be getting 38 inches per crank. Now, as I showed you earlier, give this thing a spin, and it really wants to go. It begs to be magged for a casting reel. It is just a very fast reel. Now, it doesn't have hybrid ceramic bearings in this. It's got 4 ABEC 5 stainless steel bearings, so they won't last quite as long as the hybrid ceramics, but yeah, look at that. It just wants to go. It is a fast reel. Maximum drag on this reel is £22, and it's a wet drag. What that means is that when they put the drag in, rather than being carbon fibre or carbon fibre washers that run together with a bit of friction to cause the drag as normal dry washers, this is all greased up or lubed up or oiled up, and they're wet drags. It makes the drag smoother, but it also means that you lose some of the drag. So if it was a dry drag, you'd probably get about £28, but because it's a wet drag, you're only going to get £22. Handle. This handle has Accurate on it. There you go. I've seen these handles on Shimano's, Avets. It's a pretty standard handle that takes a beating and just keeps on going, and I have to say quite easy to replace with the it looks about an 8 to 10mm nut, and you can just replace that and you can put any handle on. But I have to say that in my hand this is a very comfortable, durable handle, which is why it's so popular with a lot of reels. Now this is where we get to the first issue that I have with this reel. Build quality. Okay, now build quality on the outside, it's all engraved, nice handle. It looks really, really, really nice until you look at this. It's plastic, and that's a drain hole, by the way. That's why it says no oil, but this is plastic. Now all the other reels that are around about the same price are aluminium or some kind of metal, normally aluminium that's been anodized, not plastic. Now that's just the first thing. The next thing that I have issues with, I took this reel apart to have a look inside it, as I always do with, I'm going to do a review so I can take the reel apart and show the insides. And when I started taking it apart, those are the screws. The screw head, that is a 1.3mm screw head. So you're using the tiniest little Allen key, which means that over a period of time these are going to round off, and if they do round off, they're going to be a right bar steward to try and get back out of here, because they're countersunk in there, as you can see. And that means that you're going to have to keep taking these out and changing them. If you use the reel a lot, I would change these screws about once every 6 months, just to make sure they don't stick. The second thing is, I don't understand why you have 3 screws on one side, here and here and here, see, and that one is way deep in there even when you undo it because of the shape. And there's just one screw round here. There's nothing round the top here. 3 screws on one side and 1 screw on the other side, which again, when you undo, doesn't come right out until you open it up, like so. Now you can see better the plastic bit, which I do have a little bit of an issue with that, but that's just me and my personal opinion. Now the other thing that I wasn't too pleased with is, if you can see that, if I do that, the inside here, it's not been machined particularly well, as you can see there, and you can see all the CNC marks that you don't see that, or I haven't seen that with any other reel that I've taken apart. So on the outside, yeah, it looks great. On the inside, not quite so much. Now also, that's why at the moment there will be no mag in that until I've worked out how to get that up here out the way so that I can then put a mag in it. Now, last but not least, when you put this back together, it doesn't click in anywhere. It just turns freely, and you actually have to sit there and try and line up the holes. So you have to end up pulling it back out again, having a look, seeing the holes about there. You can't really see the hole very well, so you have to then use a screwdriver and try and find the hole. All in all, it's a bit of a pain. Yep, that was an absolute pain to get back together. Anyway, moving on. Warranty is a 1 year limited warranty. It's not a bad 1 year limited warranty. I did have a read through it, and probably better than most. The anti-reverse, it does have an infinite anti-reverse, and it has 2 anti-reverse dogs. So there's 3 different anti-reverses in there altogether. The weight is 18 ounces, which is 510 grams. The spool capacity is 300 meters of 0.35 mono. This is 0.35 50-pound braid, and as you can see, it's not quite to the top. And I think there's more than 300 meters. There's about 350 meters on this reel. So yeah, there's a question there too. I think it'll take more than they say it will. It does have a reel cover. Sorry, it does have a reel bag. Doesn't have a reel cover, but it does have a reel bag, which is a bonus. There are a few reels of this ilk that only have a reel cover. And last but not least, the clicker tension. As I mentioned, if you are trawling, yeah, that is what you would call good, very good clicker tension. So, all in all, to recap, for the price, it's not a bad reel, but there are a few build quality issues. Apart from that, I like it. It's not a bad reel at all. I'm Jamie. Thank you for watching PMR, Pimp My Reel. Don't forget, down here somewhere, the like button's there. Please hit the like button. Please share it with all your friends. Share the love. And please subscribe.